Alrighty. Thanks everyone for joining. We got a couple fun updates to go over today and some demos of some of the upcoming features, which is really exciting to share and get some of your guys' initial feedback on. We're going to go over the latest updates from the application. I'll show you a couple of the new demos from some of the upcoming features that are coming in the next week or so. And then we'll go over and have a general question and answer session at the end, like always. So if you have any questions throughout any of the items that I'm talking about today, please feel free to put it in the chat or hold it until we get to that QA session at the end, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. I'm sharing my screen here, and always like to go over this when we get started. I like to mention this. So all of our updates get posted to our changelog at roadmap.stammer.ai. You can also see this inside the top right-hand corner of your agency dashboard, where you can see all of the latest updates. And you can also subscribe to these updates as well, so that way you can get notified. We'll also be updating this a little bit further, so that way we post out those emails to everybody who may not have seen this yet. Release notes for 1.9.1 just got released. A lot of it is littler updates that has more quality of life improvements and things like that. One of the things to note though for live chat is now it is available for the API as well, which is quite useful for everybody connecting it to an existing CRM or a third-party application. So that's quite useful. You can continue to use the conversations tab inside any AI agent to have the human handoff and conversation feature ability to be able to talk with users. So super simple, but pretty powerful update. The other one is the ability to turn off white label signups. So if you're reselling AI agents to other people, you now have the ability to turn off the ability to create white label signups. So for example, if you turn this feature off, the create new account button on the sign up page would be removed. And so if you're doing more of like a white glove service or a done for you service, this would be something that would be useful for you because it'll limit the people who have access to your platform, to your white label version of the platform. Everything else remains the same. You can update the free trial settings as needed inside your SaaS configurator. So all that functionality remains, but that's just another useful update for everyone using the white label and AI SaaS functionality. Those are some quick updates coming that were released this morning. We've got another release coming out later this week that will have a improvement for our leads tab and updating this section to be more reliable and not have to necessarily worry about any other prompts and things. So we'll go over more of that next week when that is actually released and out for everybody. But now I'd like to show some of the early demos to some of the next up improvements and features. The first is going to be for Marketplace. So Marketplace is something that is going to be used more and more as more agencies create different types of AI agents for different use cases. And as we are about to release another feature called Master Chat, which is essentially a ChatGPT style like interface to chat with your AI agents, we're expecting more AI agents to be created for things like optimizing resumes, writing emails, summarizing posts and things in the way that a different business might want it to be summarized. So think of this as a way to sell your customized GPTs. So a lot of agencies that are doing that right now will be able to not only sell external AI agents that can be embedded via a chat widget or into any of the integrations, you can now have it kind of like a standalone AI agent that you can sell as a feature to a business directly. And so the marketplace is a way to facilitate that process. So you'll be able to create different AI agents, and for example, you could make one that, writes emails in the way that a business might want to write those emails, and it would have the ability to, custom prompt and everything like that. And the cool thing about this update is it'll allow you to specifically select what you want included with this AI agent. So for example, if you turn on knowledge base and capturing lead data and scheduling, it'll copy everything over. But if you want to make this more of like a template AI agent, then you can turn those permissions off and just the core functionality will be copied over when someone either clones it into their account or purchases it from you directly. So as one of your clients, so if we look at this from the client's point of view, they have the ability to clone any AI agents that you set as free, but they also have the ability to purchase AI agents for an additional one-time fee that would get deducted from their wallet balance. So that way their credit card would get recharged if their balance goes below zero. So agencies now have another way to increase the LTV of your clients by upselling them to more AI agents, which is quite useful. Another cool feature about this is when a sub account purchases one of those AI agents, let's say for, writing emails or whatever, and maybe a couple weeks down the line, you make some improvements or updates to that AI agent. You can now save that as a new version, and then the clients themselves have the ability to update to a current version, but you as the agency also have the ability to update that AI agent manually for your client without having to go into their sub account, update the prompt, update any of the other things. And you can do this at scale. So for all of our agencies that have hundreds of clients and are optimizing the AI agents individually, but then want to apply those updates to all those customers, you can now do that within this interface super easily. And this functionality will be applicable to all AI agents everywhere eventually, as we continue to. Once these AI agents are inside an account, a user can use them in any way as they see fit, whether it's embedding it on a website or using it inside the master chat view. So this is a generic looking version of master chat. When you are white labeling, all of this will be able to be customized to your brand and your color and your names and all that good stuff. But the idea here is this is something that a customer or an employee only has to interact with this interface, which is way more familiar to the average user or consumer of an AI product rather than trying to figure out how to, embed it on a website or anything like that. And so the concept of this will allow agencies to sell both internal and external AI agents to businesses for multiple different use cases, not just restrictive to the typical customer support use case. If that makes sense. Tim, Drew, anything I missed on that?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah, so this is going to be released, Master Chat and Marketplace, just like normal, will be released to our full SaaS mode users first because everybody on that plan will typically provide some feedback and help us improve it. And then eventually we will be releasing this to the rest of the accounts. And that should be coming in the next couple of weeks. So super excited about that one. Next up is going to be just a quick overview on some of the UI updates. Like I mentioned last week, we've heard everyone loud and clear, especially in the Discord, about how the platform would be better if it looked better. And so we started taking that feedback into account and we're updating some of the most used sections of the application in order to help improve the look and feel and usability. So one of those sections is the knowledge base section, which simply has a updated design and UX that allows you to update and do everything with the knowledge base a lot easier and simpler. So hopefully that everyone enjoys this update that makes it easier to update your knowledge base, especially with people that are scraping a lot of URLs. We simplified the website scraper section. It's all the same functionality. It's just we separated out the scraped URLs so that way it's easier to monitor and manage all of those scraped URLs. So this is something that we will be continuing to improve in the different sections throughout the application. And as we continue to get more feedback from everyone, we can continue to update and make everything look better. And yeah, so that's the updates for what we're looking for next week. Worth mentioning that we are still taking feedback for live chat in Conversations 2.0. This will soon be converted to just simply conversations to simplify everything. But if you haven't had a chance to check out the live chat feature, that whole automation, human handoff automation sequence allows you to have the AI agent transfer the AI agent conversation to a human, and then a person can come in and just start chatting with the person like so. That's a pretty useful feature. A lot of people are liking that so far. And like I mentioned earlier, we'll have some more updates to lead. So in general, when we think about updates and improvements to the application, we really take into consideration how it's going to affect everybody who's using the platform in the existing way. So when we do release new things or new features, we will typically leave the old functionality there and give some people some time and a heads up to improve and move over to the new version. So anytime we push an update, always expect to have the functionality remain intact and the same, because that's always important. We don't want anybody waking up and all of a sudden everything's changed. There's, something's changed. And so we don't do that, basically, is what I'm trying to say. All right. So I'm rambling a little bit here. I was basically half of the call, but if anybody has any questions, please feel free to put it in the chat or start chatting. In general, Tim, did you have anything to add?
I don't right now. No,
Yeah, any updates on voice to share, maybe?
no update. Still working on it.
Yeah, and for everybody new, we are in the process of working on our AI voice agents, going through the process of figuring out how that is going to look. And actually, we did a demo of that last week, so you can always go to our YouTube channel at Stammer AI and watch last week's recording of Office Hours, because I do a full demo in that of what voice will be. Now it's actually helpful to get some of your guys' feedback on that as well. If anybody has any feedback or ideas on things, that's also useful. And of course, if you have any other ideas, you can always go to the roadmap and add ideas. We are continuously reviewing this. There's just quite a bit of things in here, but we're getting things done. Mistral and Claude and Grok will be out soon. Been working on that. Just got some hangups with how some of the models do stuff and how fast these guys are updating their own platforms, because now we have Grok 3 and we have Claude Sonnet 3.7, I believe. Cool. Any questions anybody has? Any comments, concerns, ideas, stories, wins, successes?
Hey Ross.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. Thank you for asking. So I just asked, is it a good time for the QA session or you haven't finished demos
Yeah.
treating?
Yeah, no, please ask your question.
Yeah, so a little bit introduction myself. So I'm currently on a free trials thinking of to provide demo to our clients. So I got some maybe front-end related issues when I'm using the free trial. The first one, let me try to send a picture. So let me send the picture in the chat. So while we're trying to create some price tier for just for demonstration, if you look at this picture on the price line, so we say it's five complimentary credit, but there's like a word noun before the price. So I was thinking it's a bug for the front end, right? Did you see this image? Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's quite pretty strange. Seems some JavaScript was.
Have you opened a support ticket for this yet by any chance?
I think I have a support ticket, but for another thing. So this is what I want to show you.
Okay.
Maybe not a bug because I'm on a free trial, but so I have a Stammer account and I have a sub account for agency. So when I log in with my agency account and try to subscribe to the package I'm just created, there's saying, the warning message, something went wrong. I'm not sure if that's because I'm on a free trial, so it doesn't allow my customer to pay me. But can you tell
Is
me
it,
what's
are you using the same email or a different email?
using a test email?
A test email, and it's still giving you an error?
Yes,
Okay.
but you notice I'm on the free trial, but I do have the strip connected.
Got it. Okay. If you could DM me your email in the chat here, and then just make sure that you have a support ticket open for this, because we'll have to just kind of recreate the issue or log into your account to really see what's going on here, because it does seem like there might be like one setting that might be off slightly, but we will have the team look into this right away so that way you can get started selling quickly.
Yeah, dude, I just DM you a message about.
Perfect. Perfect. I got it.
Sam, one quick thing to try here could be opening the Stripe link in an incognito window and going through and subscribing from there. Since it's on the same device or browser potentially, that could be flagging that issue as well.
Yeah, I'm using just different tabs on the same browser, but okay, I'm gonna try it on different device.
Or just use a different browser. I go switch from Chrome to Safari just to get away from the cookies.
Good call. Yeah, so give that a shot. I just posted this into my support team. So we'll have them reach out to you within the next 24 hours.
Can I ask a quick one on office hours or the handoff rather?
Yeah, yeah. Hey Patrick. Thanks for
Hey,
joining.
so the use case of a business being open 9 to 5, they want to kind of be manual. They want to have the 9 to 5 hours be the time when someone could ask for a live agent, right? But then have it turn off at 5 or whenever
Mm,
the business closes. So no live agent handoff when no one's around, like 2 in the morning.
yep.
Is that functionality contemplated or already built in? I'm sorry if I haven't looked deep enough.
Yeah, no, not built in yet, but that is a fantastic suggestion that we could implement. So are you thinking basically like in the handoff settings here, there could be maybe like a scheduler that would say,
Yeah.
only allow for this to work basically between these specific hours.
Yeah, only offer a
Yeah.
handoff during particular hours, right? Maybe not on the weekends because the business wants the agent primarily to handle all of the work, nights and weekends, of course, and not and
Yep.
not give them the error message of waiting 5 minutes for a rep to join at 6 o'clock on Friday night, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good point.
And
Good point.
yeah, so that I guess that's a suggestion if you don't have it in there.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
We'll get that added to the stack.
appreciate it. Can I ask a kind of a real general question? Hopefully it's general and you can give a quick answer.
Yeah, please.
I think I'm trying to train the agent pretty extensively and maybe beyond what is contemplated. I don't know. I need I need knowledge base that updates regularly, so I'm kind of putting them on web pages that then get updated and then they'll get turned on to scrape every 24 hours. Fine.
Okay.
I've got some complicated stuff, or what I think it might be complicated in the prompt. Is there a best practice? I can't find anything in the docs, kind of like where stuff should be. You got the LLM, you got the knowledge base, you got the prompt. For figuring out a particular thing that I want the agent to do, is it better to try to command it in the prompt, or is it better to say refer? I mean, as an example, I'm doing it's a real estate agent, and I want it to answer very specific if someone asks, "Hey, what's the current 30-year mortgage rate?" Okay, kind of an outlier, but an example use case, right?
Uh-huh.
So I don't want it to go to the web, which it really can't do in the LLM. I don't want it to give historical data. I want it to go to the page that we've put in the 30-year mortgage rate, right? This is in the knowledge base. So is
Mhm.
that better to put in a web page that then gets updated all the time? And then where I've got it currently constructed is it's on a
Yeah.
web page. And then
Yeah.
the prompt says, hey, for anything kind of in this genre of this, if there's any question about a mortgage, refer specifically to the knowledge base.
Hmm.
But should it say refer specifically to page XYZ in the knowledge base, or should I be doing it some other way altogether?
Yeah. So for some context, the way that everything is kind of coupled together before it gets sent to OpenAI to generate the response, it contains the user's message, the query, then it adds the prompt, your base system prompt that you write out and that's what gives all the core
Mhm.
instructions. Then it adds on the top three search results that it uses the user's query against all the text and information in the knowledge base. So it'll take those top three answers and add that to the knowledge base as context. And then the final piece is the past messages within the conversation, up to about 20 typically.
Okay. Okay.
So if we taking that kind of concept and how those things are stacked together, we can actually go into any agent, and I'll show you how to do this, where you can actually see what those three responses are from the knowledge base using the debug mode.
And are those responses the entire file effectively, or the entire chunk, or is it something, a subset of that?
It's a subset of that. And so
Okay.
it basically takes the most relevant chunks of data that it can find from all of the knowledge base,
Okay.
and then it actually has a percentage ranking of how close it thinks that that chunk is responsive for the answer, for the correlated answer. So let me just show you.
So
So
that's why the FAQs work well, and
exactly, yes,
basically chunking information inside the documents is a best practice, right?
exactly, yeah.
And
So
yeah, okay.
yeah, so sometimes when there's information that's asked over and over and over again, it's useful to put it in something like the prompt. But if there's a ton of different data and a lot of different questions, having all the information that's scraped as text, whatever information that it finds, we can just see what that is. So if we go into the settings tab under advanced settings, there's this option called debug mode.
Right.
And so if we then go and ask how much the cost, we'll see some results here at the bottom. So down here, so debug mode, knowledge-based results. And we can see result one
Mhm.
came from a crawled URL, and it came from the URL that talks about pricing because that was the question I asked.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then it gives all the text that it basically scraped from the results. And that's answer one. So you can kind of start to test it and internally see kind of if the question that you're asking is actually related to the data that you have. And it's funny because what we've started to see, or what agencies have told us, is it'll kind of flip on them. They'll ask a question and then they'll go and they'll look at the results that the system has returned and realize that the information that they actually added to the knowledge base was incorrect in the first place. Or there's old data on some old URL that's causing answers to be, slightly thrown off.
And they're finding that through looking at the debug mode.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I had a
Um,
question in the Discord earlier about some old data, what I thought was kind of a ghost data, but it might have been the last 20 chat messages of the bot where it was kind of still referring to the old. Well, I don't know. I thought I refreshed the chat window, but I would update the information, the mortgage rate information, but it would still give me
the old info.
a prior version of information, even though it wasn't on the database anywhere. So I was curious if it was being cached someplace or
Okay.
so.
Yeah, that would be where you could figure that out
Gotcha. Yeah.
and then adjust as needed based off of, where it says it's finding that data from. Because it has to be coming from somewhere.
If I hit that refresh icon that you just hit
Yeah.
on my chat window, I didn't do it in the debug mode. I just went to it actually live on a web page and I just hit it there. But that
Uh-huh.
should flush out the 20 messages, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's probably somewhere still in the knowledge base, maybe just hidden, or maybe it's in the prompt somewhere. And if you go through that entire process and it's still not working in the
Right.
way that you're expecting, then please,
Yeah.
open a support ticket.
Yeah, I would connect there.
Yeah, yeah.
I would
Perfect.
find out where it's happening. Okay, thank you.
Cool. Yeah, you're welcome. All right. And Sim says just open the app from Firefox. Still got the error message. Okay. Yeah, we'll look into this one for you, Sam, and we'll have the team reach out to you and we'll get that resolved for you quickly.
Thank you.
Perfect. Any other questions? Awesome. Thanks everyone for joining, and we'll see you guys next week. Take care.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you. See you.
Thank
Cheers.
you. Bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.